Princeton University. Starting in goal, number 30, Ryan Furley. On the bench for the Tigers, number 6, Matt Nelson. And number 27, Joe Grabowski. The starting forward line for the Tigers at left wing is number 7, Liam Ronde. At center, number 10, Jackson Cressy. And at right wing, number 8, Max Becker. The rest of the Princeton Tigers and their head coach, Rob Fogarty. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Engineers of Montreal. Leading the Engineers on the inside, this is welcome the junior engineer, Brian Kaufman. Starting in goal for RPI, a junior from Andover, Minnesota, number 35, Chase Berry. On the bench, a senior from Oakville, Ontario, number 19, Mike Berzanessis. And right over to Bruce Martin, New Jersey, number 4, Tommy Moran. Starting quarter line for the Engineers, at left wing, a freshman from Sweden, number 38, Daniel Archibald. At center, he's a sophomore from Mississauga, Ontario, number 16, Sharon Baker. And then right wing, a sophomore from Buffalo, New York, number 29, Patrick Molino. He's on the rest of the Engineers here at Coach State. This is the coaches over Grant and Dan Buell. Now we invite your attention to setbacks. To the catwalk on the north side of Houston Fieldhouse, please welcome Staff Sergeant Josh McMillan, Team Member Sergeant First Class Brandon Willett, and Staff Sergeant Josh Lee. Joining them at center ice, the 1108 Explosive Ordnance Disposal Company from Scotia, who will be participating in the ceremony of upfront. Joining the team at center ice, Princeton University Captain Eric Robinson, RPI Hockey Captain Mike Cremonesi. Thank you. Last but all cadets, midshipmen, and veterans of those corners are please stand and be recognized. Now, when we ask you to remain standing, please bow your heads in a moment of silence. We thank you for honoring those who have fallen in combat for our freedom. Now tonight's joint service color guard led by Midshipman Conrad Thorne. The Canadian National Anthem will be performed by the RPI Cut Band. Service Choir, led by Midshipman Victoria Hicks, will sing the national anthem of the United States of America.
This is WRPI Troy. You are listening to live coverage of Engineers hockey as we pause momentarily for the removal of the colors from the ice as the teams are all still lined up on the blue lines waiting for the color guard to depart. We'll be ready for hockey momentarily. Tom Reel back with you here inside the Houston Fieldhouse as we're getting set for tonight's ECAC game between the Engineers and the Tigers of Princeton University. Before we get started, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union. They provide the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Just a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. And you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as WRPI is broadcasting, we provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. You can also watch tonight's contest by surfing over to RPITV.org, streaming live and in full color on YouTube. Again, my name is Tom Reel. I apologize in advance if my voice sounds a little bit hoarse. I'm getting over an ear infection and a cough. But I will do my very best to bring you RPI hockey against Princeton in as vivid color as I can. The Engineers will be skating right to left across your radio dial here for the first period. They are in their new home whites with red shoulders and red and black trim. Very nice, if I do say so myself. Jackson Cressy is going to face off against Jacob Hayhurst to get this one underway, and we have started here this evening. Princeton wins the face-off. It's back to their defense. There is Nelson on the puck now, moving it into the neutral zone. They're just going to swing it all the way down the ice. Chase Perry is in net for RPI. He's got it behind the net and has it stripped from him, though. That's in front, and now he's going to cover that one for the whistle. RPI starting lines tonight, same as last night. Victor Liljegren with Brady Whiffen and Troy York on line one. Starting line for RPI tonight was Emil Orval with Jacob Hayhurst and Patrick Polino. Max Reisinger is with Evan Tyrannese and Todd Burgess. And the freshman fourth line of Owen Stout, Billy Jerry, and John Richards. Face-off coming up in the RPI end, won by Princeton. Back to Nelson. He'll just kind of send it over into the corner, where it's picked up by Liam Grande. Now over on the near side, and that's just shoveled out of the zone by the Engineers. That's going to get all the way down the ice for icing. Defensive pairings for RPI this evening. Jared Wilson is with Matt Harris. Mike Prapovessis is with Tommy Grant, and Charlie Manley is paired off with Will Riley. Starting in net for RPI tonight, Chase Perry, the junior out of Andover, Minnesota, has an overall record of 1-4-2, with a goals against average of .285 and a .198 save percentage. Faceoff is held up there on the dot for a while. Ends up coming loose to Perry. He makes a save and ends up kicking it over towards the far corner. Still kept in by the Tigers, and they lose the handle on it. Still barely kept in, but there's no one really there for Princeton to collect, and the Engineers are going to be the ones to come away with the puck. They're still trying to move it out. Princeton doing a great job of forechecking, keeping it in the zone. Now a shot by Nelson. That's blocked by Emil Orval. He's the only Orval brother playing tonight. His older brother Jesper still out of the lineup this evening. Now RPI coming away with it, getting it out of the zone finally. They're in desperate need of a line change after that icing and a long time down there. They'll get to the red line and they'll just send it all the way down for that change. Tigers trying to move the puck through the neutral zone. Verano loses the handle on it and is back with the Engineers. They try to bring it back, but some good forechecking by Alex Rich keeps it in the zone. Now the Engineers with the puck along the near boards. And try and move it out on the stick of Will Riley. He's able to get it up for Victor Liljegren, the hero last night. Takes kind of a weird shot, never got anywhere near net. It's going to curl all the way back down into the RPI zone. Picked up by Charlie Manley. And the Engineers now trying to move from behind their own cage. Princeton doing a really good job here in the early goings of pressuring RPI in their own zone, or I should say in their attacking zone. Puck comes free to the near side. And that's on the stick of Topiage. He sends it wide. Princeton now working the puck along the near boards. It's put onto the stick of Liljegren, who gains the red line and sends it down for RPI to change once again behind the play. 17:30 left in the first period. Still no score here from Houston Fieldhouse. Just one shot on goal, and it belongs to the Princeton Tigers. Richards now up for Reisinger, who takes a quick shot, and that's gloved down by Ryan Ferland, the freshman from Franklin, Massachusetts, making a start here this evening for the Tigers. His numbers this season: 1-2-1, a .265 goals against average, and a .923 save percentage. So a decent start to his inaugural college season. As we await the face-off in the Princeton end, Evan Tierney settling in for the Engineers. He wins the face-off, moves back to the RPI blue line. That goes off of the linesman, which is precipitous for RPI, as Prapavesis has been able to take a shot that goes well wide, comes out of the zone. Prapavesis is going to come back to chase down. Line his own cage, sends it across for Tommy Grant. Grant tries to move it up, but can't connect with a streaking John Richards. And that allows Princeton to take control of the puck. Richards, however, with a nice poke check, puts it back into the attacking zone. Picked up there by the Tigers. RPI now doing a good job in the attacking zone of pressuring as they're able to take away, but a quick shot is blocked in front. And now it's coming back down the other way. Matt Harris around the back of the cage to Jared Wilson. Wilson up for Stout along the near boards. Stout brings it out of the zone through the neutral zone, across the logo, and loses the handle on it as he tries to cross into the attacking zone. Princeton now with the puck on their own end. Errant pass is picked up by Nelson. Nelson's going to be the one to bring it out and try to bring it in. And he just got his toe on that blue line, but the point is moot as they lose control of the puck. RPI going the other way with it, but they lose control near the blue line. And now it heads back down into the RPI end. RPI shovels in. It's collected by Grabowski. Sends it ahead. That is Liam Grande on the far boards. Puts it near side for Verano. And the pass back to the blue line leaps over the stick of Topatij. And Princeton will have to go all the way back to reset their attack. Topatij on the near side. Tries to find Verano. RPI putting a little bit of pressure on. Now it's up ahead for Verano. Verano takes a shot. That's saved right at point-blank range with nobody in front of him by Chase Perry. Easily the best save of the game so far. That'll come in all the way in on Ryan Ferland the other way, and he makes the stop for the whistle. Verano, one of the more dangerous players on this Princeton side, as the right wing on the relatively dangerous line for the Princeton Tigers of Ryan Kuffner, Alex Rich, and Max Verano. That's going to be the trio that RPI is going to be most keen to stop here this evening. Face-off in the Princeton end is won by the Tigers. Topatij gets it ahead for Rich. Rich moves across the blue line, has two RPI skaters in front of him, and he whiffs on a shot. Sends it back to Topatij. Across for Reed Yuckham. He takes a shot, and that's right into the breadbasket of Chase Perry, who does not allow the rebound. We'll have a face-off coming up in the RPI end with 14:58 remaining in the first period. No score between RPI and Princeton. Shot so far 3-2 in this one in favor of the Tigers. Not really too many what you would call high percentage shots, but that opportunity by Verano with no one in front of him was probably the best opportunity of the game for either side. Princeton wins the face-off in the RPI end. They go behind the RPI cage. That is Reed Yuckham, defenseman out of Port Robinson, Ontario. Gets it. Looks like he was looking for his partner Topatij, but ends up on Verano, who takes a shot. I'm not sure how, but that ended up in the back of the net. Kind of this bouncing puck. I'm not sure that Perry saw that all the way. Not a really high-powered shot by Verano on the ECAC hockey logo near the blue line. But that just started bouncing around and ended up right in the back of the net. It might have been tipped in front by somebody. That certainly is the kind of shot that's going to be tipped. And just looking at the replay, it does look like Ryan Kuffner was able to get a stick on it. He kind of just lifted his arm right at the right second to put that over the shoulder of Chase Perry and into the back of the net. So a rough first goal for him to give up. Definitely the initial shot did not have a whole lot on it. But when you get a redirection, it really doesn't matter how fast the puck is moving, because when you get a redirection that close to the net, it makes things very, very difficult when you're a goaltender. So an excellent move by Kuffner to secure his fourth goal of the season and put Princeton up 1-0 for the second consecutive night. And incidentally, put RPI down 1-0 for the second consecutive night. Puck now back down in the RPI end. The Engineers looking to clear along the near boards. They're able to just get it out, and then it's just shoved down ice by Jared Wilson. Picked up by the Tigers as they go forward across the red line and across the blue line. That is Spencer Krishka. Shuffles it down. It's behind the RPI net. And here's come away with it. Orval up for Hayhurst. Hayhurst streaks into the zone. Tries to get around his man. He gets taken down. Penalty coming up on the Tigers. Nice move by Jacob Hayhurst. Not only to gain the zone, but really just to get around his man as he cut towards the net. He was taken down. And RPI will be going on the power play for the first time this evening as a holding call against Matt Nelson, the senior defenseman from Edina, Minnesota. Puts RPI on the power play. Princeton's penalty kill 75% so far for this season. That is in only 4 games played, so not a very high sample size. The Engineers 6 for 42, 14.3% on the power play. Will Riley is down low. Now a shot by Liljegren. He had a stick checked right at the crucial moment, and the puck just kind of clears into the corner. Now the Tigers are able to clear that one all the way down ice. Will Riley will be the one to give chase. 1:40 left on the RPI power play. Bringing up ice is Jacob Hayhurst. They bring it back up to the point. Now Prapavesa skates into the circle. Back for Riley. Riley now back over for Hayhurst, who can't control the pass. And it's picked up by Princeton and sent just out of the zone. They're going to get maybe a half line change as Prapavesa brings back into the zone. Prapavesa is battling along the near boards for control. It's back for Riley now at the point. Riley skating along the blue line and into the ECAC hockey logo. Now Prapavesa back for Riley. Riley winds up, takes a lighter shot, but it's put directly onto the stick of David Hallisey, who sends it down ice for the penalty kill clearance. 46 seconds remaining on the RPI power play. Princeton has it, and they're just going to send it back into their own end as they play a little bit of keep away with RPI. Sent down onto the stick of Burgess, who leaves for Wilson. Wilson behind his own cage. Swings it around, moves up the center of the ice. Sends it back over to Whiffen. Whiffen crosses the blue line, back to Polino. Polino now with it along the near boards. Polino to Wilson on the blue line. Now Burgess along the near boards, back to Wilson. Wilson to the far side of the ice now for Matt Harris. Harris will whip it around the cage. It's Burgess picking up on the near side. Burgess sends it towards the net, but a weak shot is picked up easily by Grabowski. Now Engineers and Tigers do battle along the near boards for control. And Burgess is going to come away with a quick shot saved by Ferland as the RPI penalty expires, or I'm sorry, as the Princeton penalty expires. They're back to 5 aside with 11:23 remaining in the first period. Princeton holding a 1-0 lead, and they just finished their first successful penalty kill of the evening. RPI moving the puck from their own end. And it's picked up by the Tigers. Coming into the zone with it is Verano, who set up the goal. It is the Engineers that come away with it, however. Reisinger into the zone, the attacking zone. Puts it behind the cage. And it is Richards, who then leaves it for Tierneys. Tierneys near the blue line, backing it all the way. And it backhands it in towards the net. Richards can't come away with it. I'm sorry, that's Reisinger who can't come away. And now Princeton controlling behind their net. Tigers bring it out of the into their attacking zone. Verano sends it around to the goal scorer Kuffner behind the net. And now Kuffner moves into the slot. He loses the handle on it. And it's the Engineers trying to push it out of the zone, and eventually they're successful. Puck near the RPI bench, kicks back out to Prapavesis, who just sends it over to Stout, just over the red line, who tips it into the zone for RPI to finish off their change. And they'll head in to try to secure as both teams do battle along the far boards. That's a kick loose to Riley. Riley takes a shot right on to Ferland, and there is no rebound. 9:48 remaining here in period number 1. Princeton Tigers holding a 1-0 lead from a goal off of the stick of Ryan Kuffner. And as we pause for the ice crew to come out and make a few adjustments, I guess I'd have to say that this result so far pretty much is I'd say what both teams deserve. RPI maybe a little bit slower than they needed to be in order to put a little more pressure on Princeton, but the Tigers doing a great job of controlling the puck in the attacking zone and really just putting the pressure on RPI when they have the puck in their own zone. So they've made it difficult for the Engineers to move. And 10 minutes into this contest, it's certainly a deserved 1-0 lead for the Princeton Tigers. Face-off is in the Princeton end, won by the Tigers. That is Hallisey along the near boards. Up ahead quickly for a breakaway by Hallisey. I'm sorry. A quick breakaway for the Princeton Tigers. Ends up in the back of the cage. That moved faster than I could tell. That was a really strong headman pass. It's going to be Eric Robinson who gets credit for this one. He just absolutely was motoring through the neutral zone, and just a heads-up pass ends up on his stick, and he was moving. He had no one to beat but Chase Perry. Put it perfectly into the net for his second goal of the season. A senior out of Belmar, New Jersey, has the Tigers up 2-0 in this one. For the second consecutive night, RPI is going to have to try to come back from a 2-0 deficit in order to secure victory in this one. Now, another shot by Princeton as they are swarming the net. RPI's defense looking very much out of sorts. Right off the face-off, practically. RPI's got to kind of buckle down here and weather the storm, get themselves back into a position to start attacking, because At the moment, it is all Princeton Tigers as they control the puck in their own end. That's sent up ice. It's picked up instead by Jacob Hayhurst. Topatij sends it back into the RPI end. Matt Harris gets muscled off the puck. Now just an easily move-in shot by Princeton is saved by Perry. Now the Tigers have it along the blue line. Sent in, and the puck is just sitting practically on the goal line, cleared away by Matt Harris. That one got behind Perry, but just didn't have enough momentum to get in. Now another shot by the Tigers is saved by Perry, and this is just 100% Princeton at the moment. Our last shot coming off of the stick of Max Becker, the senior out of Orange, California. The shot's now 12-4 in favor of Princeton, and in the last 2 minutes or so, it has been an absolute onslaught. It's just RPI kind of holding on for dear life, and Princeton more or less moving in for the kill. Face-off in the RPI end. Ends up going back for the Engineers, but they're really still having a hard time pushing it out along the far boards. And then it's sent back in by the Tigers. Kept in by Tom at the blue line. He'll dump it back in, and RPI's defense just going all over the place looking for this puck. Now on the blue line. Now a quick shot is saved by Perry. If that even got through to him, it came down into the far corner. And it's Luke Keenan who's trying to come away with it. Now back to the point. Another shot that's blocked in front. That was blocked by Tyranny. So now RPI trying to move the puck forward, but again, they just find it difficult to move through that second part of the neutral zone without being run over. And it's Princeton collecting again in their own end. 7:32 remaining in the first period. Princeton with a 2-0 lead. It could well have been 3. Princeton will just wait behind their own net as they finish leisurely changing their lines. Rich has it taken off of his stick, and it's picked up by Billy Jerry. And he can't move it out of the zone. Now back behind the RPI net. Princeton has it again. Quick shot from the top of the circle, blocked in front, and Wilson's able to get that one out of there. Now it was Matt Nelson taking that quick shot. They're doing, Princeton's doing a great job of taking those quick snapshots. Before you even know it, they're taking a shot. That puck gets poked off of a Princeton stick into the neutral zone. That'll give RPI the opportunity to change their lines. Not easy spending that kind of time in your own zone. Princeton's going to move that one down ice. I didn't see if that was touched, but they're not going to call it icing, so I guess we're going to continue to play. Fight for it along the far boards. Is poked into the neutral zone, where it's picked up again by the Tigers. They come away with it, just trying to kind of casually move the puck towards the net. Comes up to Nelson at the point. He takes a shot that's blocked in front of the net by Wilson, and Wilson's just going to shovel that one out of the ice. And it's taken by Robinson, who has one of the 2 goals tonight for the Tigers. He moves up quickly to keep it in along the near boards in the RPI end. And now Prapavest is just trying to move the puck around the Princeton attackers, who, even when RPI's got the puck, they're certainly making things difficult for them in the attacking area, in their defensive end. You know, RPI finally moving it up. Here is Grant taking a shot that goes just wide. Engineers with the puck now in the attacking end. Prapavest toe drags, takes a shot, and that's saved by Fairland. Looks like he saw that one pretty much all the way. And there's no rebound. 5:27 remaining in the first period. Princeton with a 2-0 lead over RPI. Like Orval trying to stay in front of Furland for a screen, but Furland just kind of casually moves to his right and keeps a good eye on that good sight line on that puck, and it was an easy save for him. Face off in the Princeton zone, won by the Tigers. It's up ahead for Cressy. Cressy loses a handle, and he loses control as it's ahead for Whiffen. Whiffen across the blue line tries to, a little give and go with York. Now Whiffen in the corner. Puts it in front, and a shot and a goal by Wilson. Great feed from Brady Whiffen in the corner. Brady Whiffen had a pass that just had eyes for Jared Wilson in the far face-off circle. He one-timed that shot to the back of the cage. And just like that, the RPI cuts the Princeton lead right in half. It's now 2-1 Tigers. Some good hard work there by both Whiffen and Wilson to make that one happen. A little bit against the flow of play, but RPI will take it however they can get it. They needed a goal and they got it. It's now 2-1 Princeton as we get back to action. Princeton moving the puck out of their own end. Matthew Tom has it taken off of his stick, and now a fight for it between John Richards and Spencer Krishka. Richards goes down. Fans wanted a call, but it certainly looked like Krishka just won the battle for the puck there. Now Princeton moving the other way with it into the attacking end. A shot from the point by Tom. It might have deflected off of someone, but ends up going wide. Now it is Krishka in the corner. Back to Tom, who winds up, takes a shot, and that is blocked by Max Reisinger, who then moves it out of the zone. Charlie Manley moves the puck up, and it's brought into the attacking zone like Billy Jerry, who takes a shot and scores! Billy Jerry just zips one over the shoulder of Ryan Ferland. And just like that, the RPI Engineers turn this around completely in very short order. And once again, almost just completely against the flow of play. A nice move by Billy Jerry and just a great heat-seeking shot, top shelf. Puts RPI back into this one, knots it back up at 2, and that one, if that Brady Whiffen shot had eyes, or his pass had eyes, this shot certainly had eyes. A laser beam from Billy Jerry, the freshman out of River Falls, Wisconsin, has this one tied up at 2. This game turned around very quickly, and Princeton has to be wondering at this point what they have to do, because they have really been in control of this first period, but they still don't really have anything to show for it as the score is now tied in the final 4 minutes of this opening period. Verano comes away with it behind his net. Now it's the Engineers' turn to do a little bit of forechecking. Grabowski can't hold on to it. Ends up sending it across for Matt Nelson. Now up for Alex Rich. Rich has it taken off of his stick. RPI can't clear. Grabowski down low for Verano. Verano tries to swing it around for Alex Rich. Rich has it taken off of his stick, and it's onto the stick of Emil Orval. Now across the blue line is Brady Whiffen. He sends it into that same corner where he supplied that pass for Jared Wilson. Whiffen to Liljegren, last night's hero, behind the cage. Swings it around on the far side. Looks at Prapavesis, doesn't pass. Still has it. Liljegren along the near side now. Still has the puck, brings it around the net, went all the way around the ice, and then tried to leave it off for Whiffen, but Whiffen can't control it, and Princeton will move it out of the zone. That will go all the way down the ice, but icing is waved off. 2:23 remaining in the first period. Shots are 13-7 Princeton, but 2-2 where it counts on the scoreboard. Engineers moving it in. They have it taken away. Here come the Princeton Tigers. Along the far board, shot, and that's saved by Perry. Now another shot in the slot, and that goes in. Maybe a little bit of due for Princeton as they are able to retake the lead with 2:02 remaining in the first period. Jackson Cressy, with his second goal of the season, has made this one a 3-2 Princeton lead. Just some good hard work by the Tigers as they moved it right into the slot. Took the shot from the top of the slot. Perry looks like he got it, maybe a little piece of it, but not enough to keep it out of the back of the cage as it kind of just dribbled in behind him. And Princeton has their lead back. It is 3-2 Tigers. So plenty of scoring here in the first period. Princeton with some good domination on puck possession and certainly on shots where they're out shooting RPI 2-1. They really just retook their 1-goal lead with about 2 minutes left here in the first period. RPI with the puck behind their own cage. That is momentarily intercepted by Princeton. Now a 3-on-2 if they can hustle. That's going to turn into a 2-on-2. And that shot by Jerry is turned aside. Excuse me, that was Owen Stout taking a shot. Now 3-on-2 coming the other way for Princeton. Grande across the ice. Quick shot, and that goes off the side of the post into the corner. RPI trying to move it. They get it out of the zone with 1:15 remaining in the first period. Princeton will settle it in their own end. Matthew Tom moves it for Grande. Grande across to Krishka. Krishka has it taken away by Polino. And now the puck centers into the, just kind of into a mess, but RPI is the one that comes away with it. That's taken across the blue line. That's picked up by Paganelli. Paganelli coming along the near boards. He takes a shot. That is saved aside, but into the slot. And another shot opportunity is whiffed on by the Tigers, who take it behind their own cage. Now in the corner, that is Hayhurst, who wins control. He moves it himself into the RPI attacking again, takes a shot, saved on the blocker by Furland. Goes into the corner. And now we're going to have a penalty coming up here on Princeton with 21.3 seconds remaining. Hayhurst, really a good individual effort there to win control in his own end, take it coast to coast, and then get a good quality shot off. Let's see what this call is, but it's a 2-minute minor against Matthew Tom, freshman out of Oakville, Ontario. Cross-checking is the call. So RPI back to the power play here late in the first period. They're 0 for 1 on the man advantage this evening. An opportunity perhaps for RPI to get themselves tied back up before the end of the first period. But if they are unable to score one, they'll at least have the fresh ice power play opportunity that teams crave at the beginning of the second period. Face-off won by Princeton. They immediately send it all the way down the ice. That will kill probably the vast majority of the remainder of the first period. RPI should have the opportunity for one more rush. They get it up across the zone. Here's York, takes a shot. That's blocked in front by Nelson, and he just whips that one down to kill the remainder of the period. And so 3-2 is your first period score, or I should say the first intermission score. Face-offs 10-7 in favor of the Tigers, shots 16-8 in favor of Princeton. RPI is currently on their second power play, and they do not have any power play shots to show for it, so there's something that they will certainly want to remedy when the second period begins. We will step aside for perhaps several moments as I catch my, as I recover slightly from the last 20 minutes. When we do come back, we'll have a quick rundown of the RPI football score from this afternoon as the Engineers did battle with the Union Dutchmen. And spoiler alert, they won. The Dutchman Shoes returning to Troy for the 5th consecutive season for the first time in the history of the RPI Union rivalry. So we'll go over that and talk a little football. Your score after one period of play is Princeton 3 and RPI 2. You're listening to live coverage of Engineers hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.
you that today, all three ROTC units will commission officers into their respective branches of service. RPI Hockey will welcome all RPI ROTC units and active military in attendance this evening. We thank you for your service and for your continued support. RPI Athletics. Ryan's Wake is proud to support RPI Athletics. Head downtown after the game, check out the coverage at Ryan's Wake.
Hello, I'm William McElroy, Director of Athletics and Associate Vice President. Welcome to Military Appreciation Night. On behalf of the men's hockey program, we honor and thank all the military veterans for their service. Enjoy the game.
We welcome you back inside the Houston Fieldhouse here on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York, as we get set to bring you the second period of tonight's ECAC hockey action between the visiting Tigers of Princeton University and the homestanding Engineers of RPI. My name is Tom Reel, and you're listening to all of this on your home Frontiers Hockey on 1.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Score after one period is Princeton 3 and RPI 2. Before we get started with the second period, I'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union. They provide the funding for WRPI and all the cover-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Just a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org and pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as WRPI is broadcasting, we provide that broadcast on our internet stream. Once again, that's WRPI.org. You can also watch RPI hockey home games live on on RPI TV. Surf over to rpitv.org for more information or to watch tonight's contest. Perhaps you are watching tonight's contest on RPI TV. If so, welcome. Again, if you're just tuning in and my voice sounds terrible, I do apologize. This time last night I was not in a condition I would want to be in again. Engineers now skating from left to right across your radio dial here for the second period as they get underway with a victory in the opening face-off at center ice. They are on the power play for the next minute 25 as they seek to control it along the far boards. It's picked up by the Tigers and they're just lofted out of the zone. That's going to go all the way back down and taken behind by Chase Perry. RPI now moving through the neutral zone. Taken in by Jacob Hayhurst. He has along the near boards. Up for Riley. Riley across to Prapavessis. Now Riley at the top of the point. Hayhurst down low for Orval. Orval's pass is broken up. And that ends up hopping out of the zone. And Riley is going to have to pick that up with 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. RPI down by a goal. Riley skates in, doesn't take a shot. Hayhurst sends it into the corner for Riley. And now behind for Victor Liljegren. 3 goals last night for the Engineers. And the curls around to Riley at the point. Riley to Prapavesis on the far boards. Now back to Riley, who soft passes it to Hayhurst. Now a slap shot is saved by Ferland. Now walking in is Hayhurst, who takes a shot. That was saved. Puck's up in the air. Where is it? No one sees it. It comes wide behind the net. RPI picks it up, stays in the zone. Riley with it. Penalty coming up on Princeton. They will touch it. And a cross-checking call coming up against the Tigers. Gives RPI a very short 5-on-3 opportunity coming up. It's just going to be 7 seconds long, but at least they'll have more chance to operate this early period power play. And the penalty is against Joe Grabowski, senior from Lawrenceville, New Jersey. And that puts RPI on the very short 2-man advantage. RPI wins the faceoff. Back to the point. Here's Wilson. Wilson looks forward, puts it in for Polino. He can't pull the trigger. Now the puck's behind the net as the first penalty expires. Polino goes down in the corner. RPI still with it though. Wilson across for Harris. Matt Harris back to Wilson. Now Harris on the far boards. Sends it in for Burgess. Now Polino in the corner. He gets taken off the puck, but now Burgess on it. Coming forward to grab it is Harris. Harris for Wilson. Now back to Harris. Wilson at the point. Over for Burgess. Burgess at the top of the faceoff circle. Curls around. Looks up, looking. Back to Wilson. Wilson at the blue line. Moves towards the far side. Now Harris. Harris takes a shot that's blocked in front of the net, but bounces behind the net. RPI still with it. Back to Harris, who can't control the pass. He's able to kind of try to shove it back down into the zone, but it's picked up by Princeton. They'll send it all the way down the ice. 1 minute remaining on the penalty to Grabowski. Some good cycling going on for RPI, but they're not just getting the looks they want on the net. Engineers moving the puck in. Here's Liljegren. Cuts towards the net, now behind it. On the near boards for Riley. Riley to Prapavesis on the far boards. He swings it to Hayhurst. Hayhurst walks to the top of the slot. Over to Riley, who takes a shot, and that will go out of play. 34 seconds remaining on the RPI power play. 17:01 left in the second period. Princeton with a 3-2 lead. Face-off in the Princeton end is won by the Engineers. But it's Princeton who comes away after battle for it in the corner, and they will just sling it down ice with 20 seconds remaining on their penalty kill. Perry sets it up. Prapavesis leaves it for Riley. Riley now leaves it back. Hayhurst can't move forward, poked off of his stick. Princeton going forward, shorthanded. Hayhurst has the angle. He picks up the puck, tries to send it around as the power play expires. RPI now 0 for 3 on the man advantage. And they still trail this one by a goal. It is 3-2 Princeton. Here is Wilson. Sends it up off the stick of Orval and into the zone as RPI gets one of their even strength lines back out on the ice. Tierney's tries to catch up with it behind the Princeton net. And now RPI forechecking along the near boards, forces Princeton to go the other way with. They finally get it out of the zone, but they can't control. They can't bring it into the attacking zone. The Engineers do a good job of standing them up at the blue line. Going forward now is Harris. He gets it into the attack area. Now a quick maneuver by Harris. I'm just not sure how Reisinger failed to score on that perfect pass right on the doorstep. Tried to whip it one time in. I don't know if he put it over the net. From where I'm standing, I don't know how he managed to miss the net. It was wide open. RPI just inches away from tying this one up. But a great pass by Matt Harris set up a golden opportunity for the Engineers. Harris now is going to dump it down back in as he gets off for Will Riley. Princeton looking to break out of their own end. Pass up ahead was looking for Robinson, was broken up and sent back down into the Princeton zone. It's picked up by Burgess behind the net. Ferland was way out of position as he tried to play it. Now going the other way with it is Robinson. He takes a shot from a tight angle. And they will send it all the way back into the neutral zone. Robinson's already shown once tonight that he can make things happen. Now an errant play by the Engineers goes unpunished by the Tigers, as they were also unprepared for the puck bouncing off of an official. Burgess is able to squirt that one out. I was just saying about Robinson, he has shown a talent for getting behind the defense. He scored his goal on a breakaway opportunity that just really just came from nowhere on a all the way across the ice pass that made it 2-0 at the time. And certainly a good opportunity for him down on the other end. Now the Engineers looking to work with the puck in their attacking zone. Liljegren has it. He moves into the slot, takes a shot. I don't really think Ferland saw it, but he still made the save. And Princeton moves the puck out of the zone. Grant near his own bench. He'll gain the red line and send it into the far corner. Liljegren takes his man down. But it's Princeton who comes away in the near corner. Tigers moving it up and out. Moving across is Jeremy Germain. Saw his brother last night against playing for Quinnipiac. A Hamden, Connecticut native puts it into the corner. RPI gets on it there. Now across the center logo is with him. Puts it for Krapavessis, but he can't control the pass. And it's broken up nicely by the Princeton defense. Now a shot by the Tigers is blocked. And it comes down on a Princeton stick, and there's another golden opportunity on a gaping net that was missed, this time by Josh Tevis of the Princeton Tigers. Not quite as good of an opportunity as Max Reisinger had just a couple of moments ago. But an errant shot ended up going wide of the net, so both teams not scoring on golden opportunities with gaping goal mouths in front. And we remain at 3-2 Princeton here midway through the second period. RPI now with the puck in the attacking zone. Shot by Wilson is gloved down by Ferland, and we get a whistle with 12:22 remaining in the second period. We saw a couple of shots there by Max Reisinger and Josh Tevis, and I think that they would like to have back. Reisinger especially, I would love to see that one again, where Reisinger was sitting more or less on the goal line. Had a perfect pass come in from Matt Harris. Went down to a knee to whip it, and it just didn't end up in the back of the net. Face-off in the Princeton end is won by, well, whoever wins this puck battle along the far boards, I suppose. Puck is sent back out into the near corner. And now some good stick work by the Engineers behind the net. Wraparound attempt by Tierney sends up being pushed just to the side of the cage. And now another battle going on in the far corner. RPI comes away with it. Wilson looks to make a pass. Now an opportunity for Princeton to break here. They are one-on-one. Kuffner gets ahead. Looking for Verano, who was held up. He wants a penalty, but he's not going to get it. Just a good back check by Evan Tierney to break up a decent opportunity that could have turned into either a breakaway or a 2-on-1, but RPI did a great job defensively. Now going the other way with it. It's put it on net by Krapavessis. An easy save there. Now a shot from the point by Charlie Manley gets blocked. The fight for it is behind the Princeton net. And now Manley is going to try to cycle the puck for the Engineers along the far boards. Sent down into the ice by down ice by Owen Stout. He'll come away with it in the near corner, or in the far corner. Now Burgess along the end boards. Leaves it back for Billy Jerry. Jerry has a goal tonight. Jerry drops it off. Now it's pushed in front. No shots coming. Ends up in the far corner. And Jerry does battle in that corner. And it's brought out by Alex Rich. Kuffner Ahead for Rich. Rich winds up, tries to take a big shot, but had his stick broken on that shot. I think he brought his stick down more or less on Charlie Manley's stick while he was taking that shot, and it went harmlessly out of play. Shots have now evened up in this one. It was a big gap for Princeton early in this one, but RPI with a 10-1 advantage in shots on goal here in the second period. As it tied 18-18, Princeton leads this one 3-2 on the scoreboard. Puck down in the RPI end. Karams to behind the net. Back up to the point. Princeton looking to work with the puck. That gets blocked and sent into the near corner, in the far corner. And now Prapaves is coming away with it. Now for York, who passes it over to Brady Whiffen. York is going to send that one into the corner. And now Liljegren working the puck. Taken away by the Tigers. They move forward. Just a reminder, you're listening to live coverage of Engineers Hockey, 91.5 FM. WRPI Troy. Tom Reel with the call this evening. As Princeton's unable to do anything with it in the attacking zone, RPI looking to go the other way with it. York sends it down ice. And just tries to get a half line change before the Tigers come back with it. Nelson tries to get it out to the blue line, but it hops over a stick and ends up back down in the Princeton end. I'm sorry, that was Becker. Now a big hit over by the Princeton bench. The crowd reacts to that one nicely. And that gives the Engineers the opportunity to control the puck in the attacking zone. Behind the net, Orval. He backhands one that goes just to the side. RPI still controlling. Much better period in the second here for RPI. As Princeton comes away. Now an opportunity for the Engineers going the other way. A quick shot by RPI is saved by Ferland, and he covers up for the whistle. 8:34 remaining in the second period. Princeton with a 3-2 lead. As Ryan Kuffner got absolutely leveled by his own bench. And it looks like it was Jared Wilson leveling that one as well. He left his skates and kind of leaned in on him. But he hit him more or less with his back. So I'm not sure that you could really call that one an elbow or a charge. As he kind of just turned his back to him and put him over into the boards right next to his own bench. Certainly got a rise out of the Engineer faithful and gave RPI a decent 30-second opportunity in the attacking zone to boot. So those are the kind of hits that can swing momentum a little bit sometimes, but the Engineers unable to capitalize immediately, and now we have a short break for the ice cream. Face-off is coming up in the Princeton end. Face-off won by the Tigers. And that is Keenan winning that one back. Now Paganelli behind his own cage. Princeton still looking to get out of the zone. They finally do. They'll just send it down in after they cross the red line. And it's picked up there by RPI. Evan Tierney is moving along the near boards. Passes it into the slot, and the Engineers can't get a shot off. But they're able to maintain control of the zone momentarily until the pass is picked off by Keenan, and he sends it out. 7:48 remaining in the second period. 3-2 Princeton is your score in this one. All the scoring has taken place in the first period of this contest as RPI sends it down ice. Whiffen sends it in. He does battle in the corner with Tevis. And getting a little help now from Brady Whiffen. As Matthew Tom also comes in, they might have to blow this one dead, and they do.
Download the Emilio app tonight. Tap, order, sit back, and relax. Place your order at Emilio.com or on your Emilio app.
RPI is now taking the lead on shots on goal. It was 16-8 in the first period in favor of Princeton. The second period, far better for RPI. They have an 11-2 lead in shots on goal here in the middle stanza. Verano on the far boards leads for Rich. Rich maybe going a little bit too fast, loses a handle on the puck as Princeton looked to kill with their speed. Now RPI the other way with it. Shot it by Liljegren, makes a nice little toast save by Ferland. That one looked dangerous. Now Kuffner going the other way with it. Kuffner up for Verano. Verano whiffs on a shot, leaves it in the slot, and Tom tries to backhand it in. Teves now cuts to the net, cuts back and takes a shot and scores. Good little give and go by the Princeton Tigers, and they have their 2-goal lead back. It's 4-2. Teves just came from the far board, cut in, dumped off just to the side of the cage. And then it came right back to him. One time that right to the back of the net. Beautifully executed play. That is Alex Rich, who made that give and go happen with Teves. And it doesn't get prettier than that, as the Princeton Tigers, again, a little bit against the flow of play here, are able to regain a 2-goal lead that they had earlier in the first period. It is now 4-2 Princeton. Tigers now looking to capitalize on the momentum that they've been able to build up through that next goal. You always want to be the one to score the next goal. And it's RPI coming away with it in their own end. Burgess has it up for Wilson, who was alone. He sends a shot in that's kicked easily aside by Ferland. And it comes back in off of a shot by Burgess, and another easy save by Ferland. Now collecting it is Reed Yawkin, the freshman from Port Robinson, Ontario. Back out to the neutral zone for Manley. Manley is just going to send that one right in on net. Ferland wanted to cover, but there were no engineers around, so he just whips it to a teammate. RPI forecheck, maybe not quite as forceful as they were earlier here in the second period, as they look to regroup from going down 2 goals a second time. Puck is off the stick of Hayhurst. Now Riley has it by the near boards. Hayhurst looked for the redirect, but couldn't get his stick on it, and it's saved by Ferland instead. Emil Orval behind the net, can't control. And it's up for Liam Grand. He gets it out of the zone. Now moving the puck across the blue line is the Princeton Tigers, but they're a little bit ahead of themselves, and offsides the call with 5:05 remaining in the second period. Princeton up 4-2 in this one. I believe that's the first offsides call we've had all evening, which is fairly impressive considering that we're about 35 minutes into this contest. The ensuing face-off gives us about 3 seconds of action. Puck went into section 22, and I can confirm that someone gave it to a kid, which makes this entire side of the fieldhouse relatively pleased. Quick shot by John Richards from the near boards is gloved down by Ferland, and we'll have another quick stoppage here with 4:52 remaining in the second period. RPI putting their top line out on the ice. Liljegren, Whiffen, and York for this attacking zone face-off. Rich is going to get tossed. from the face-off circle, so Kuffner will come in and take it. And Princeton wins the draw. Liljegren tries to keep it in by kicking it. He's eventually successful and comes away with it. Brings it into the far corner. Whiffen now, curling around. Grant up towards the point, skates in, towards the face-off circle, takes a shot. Looks like that was a stick save. Now another shot by Troy York ends up in the far corner. Big hit leveled by Liljegren. And he comes away with the puck, but he has it taken right off of his stick. Now a 2-on-1 the other way for Princeton. Rich pulls back. The shot is taken by Verano. He moves in. Another shot. More shots. Still saved. Big stop in front by Brady Whiffen, who sold out to stop that last shot. More opportunities as Princeton's just firing away. Tevez now. Tevez up at the point. He's being harassed by York. Up for Rich. Now Tevez again along the near boards. And it's poked out by Brady Whiffen. He really sold out to stop a point-blank shot, keep this one a 4-2 game. Now here comes Princeton again. And they lift one just to the top of through the top of the crease. Verano now on it. Verano across to ice pass into the slot. Sticked away by the Engineers, who are very, very lucky on that last flurry that the current deficit did not increase. Along the near boards. Up comes Wilson. He dumps it in. Tevez is the first one there, but he can't control. Tierney's up for Harris, who takes a shot. Ferland tried to glove it, but it ended up going just to his right. Now back the other way. 1-on-2 come the Tigers. That is Robinson on the near boards. And it's kept in by Germain. Now Harris on it. Harris feeds to Tierney's. Now to Burgess. Billy Jerry at the red line. Sends it down, but it's blocked to the ice by Reed Joachim. That doesn't let the Engineers change as they wanted. Puck back down in the RPI end. Wilson lifts that one out. Joachim gets it ahead. And Robinson feigns on his shot from near the far face-off circle. And it's now Polino coming away. 2-on-1 for the Engineers. Has Orval with him. Almost a 3-on-1, but a dropped pass by Hayhurst goes unaided, and RPI loses a golden opportunity to strike back. Manley behind his own net. Loses control. Sent into the slot. Shot goes nowhere. Back for Tevez. I'm sorry, Nelson on the blue line. Polino pokes it off. Now Orval is racing, but he's out of gas and can't collect it. A fresher set of legs might have turned that one into a breakaway, but the Engineers have been out there for quite some time. They can't control coming out of their own attacking zone, and here come Princeton 3-on-2 if they hurry. Puck just trickles in on Perry. He covers up. And that looks like it was Cressy who got sent to the ice right after the whistle. We'll see if there's going to be a call on this one. With 1:32 remaining in the second period, Princeton holding a 4-2 lead. And it does look like RPI is going to be assessed a penalty for maybe a hit after the whistle, a roughing call on Will Riley, as he sent Jackson Cressy tumbling to the ice. This is RPI's first penalty of the evening. Their power play is 34 for 44, 77.3%. Princeton comes into tonight's contest with a 20% rating on their power play. Again, that's a little bit of a small sample size, as this is only their 5th contest of the season. RPI clears that one out after the ensuing face-off in their own end. And Princeton will start their first power play from their own zone as they look to set up for the attack. Verano along the far boards. Drops it to Cressy. Now on it is Kuffner behind the RPI cage. Back up to the top of the top for Tevez. Now Tevis drops it back over for Verano. I'm sorry, Verano now at the near corner. He takes a shot that goes wide, and that's kept in right there at the point near his own bench by Tevis. Tevis along the blue line. Now Verano along the near boards. Cressy along the near boards. Up for Halassi. And a shot by Kuffner is blocked. Now Tevis along the blue line. Back to Kuffner. Kuffner into the corner. Up to Tevis at the point. Tevis kind of moves in a little bit, takes a shot from the top of the far face-off circle, and that goes out of play. 37 seconds remaining on the penalty to Will Riley. 8.9 seconds remaining here in the second period. Princeton will put their second power play unit out there for the remaining portions of the second period. Faceoff's won by the Engineers, and Wilson's just going to send that one all the way down ice. And that's going to do it here for the second period, as RPI really had some golden opportunities to work their way right back into it. After being down 3-2 at the end of the first period, they really owned the first 10 minutes or so of this second, aided by about 3 minutes or so of uninterrupted power play time to start the second period, but they were unable to get one past. They had some really, really good opportunities that just fell by the wayside. Max Reisinger all alone on the back door. Couldn't put it home with an empty net. And then just a really, really beautiful goal scored by Josh Tevis at 13:15 of the second period. That was the only goal of the middle frame, and Princeton has a 4-2 lead. And that goal was Tevis' first of the season, with the assists going to Ryan Kuffner, who did a great job on the little give and go. The secondary assist going to Matthew Tom, freshman out of Oakville, Ontario, who collects his first collegiate point on that secondary assist. So we will be stepping aside momentarily, and we'll come back and we'll talk some hockey. Your score after 2 periods of play is Princeton 4 and RPI 2. You are listening to live coverage of Engineers Hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.
Saturday mornings. And they're for all ages. So for more information, check out the program at hmfsc.org. Stewart Shops, BSN Stores, Boucher Clark Benefits, Rensselaer Honda, Fryhoffers, Repeat Business Systems, CDTA, H2M Architects and Engineers, and Wilkes Beer Garden in Troy, all proud sponsors of RPI Hockey.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
In other ECAC games today, one final, Colgate 3, Dartmouth 2. Late in the second period, round 3, St. Lawrence 1. Also late in the second, Clarkson 3, Yale 1. And middle of the second period, it's Union 2, Winnipeg 0. And after one period of play, it indicates Harvard 2, Cornell 1.
Honey, I'm home.
Hello, dear.
So what's for dinner?
I have to eat it. I don't think so, salads.
Meatloaf.
I kind of want a soup salad.
Let us make your life easier with delicious takeout from Stewart Shops. Dozens of options to choose from. There's something for everyone.
Well, this worked out.
It was easy. I love takeout from Stewart Shops. I got ice cream too.
Enjoy easy takeout from Stewart Shops tonight.
Award-winning chili, fall off the bone ribs, hand-cut steaks, and 10% off for the RPI staff for student ID. A legendary deal like this is only found at Texas Roadhouse, 105 Wolf Road in Colony. Come dine with us.
What can you do with 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5 from Dunkin'? Settle with that. Make a friend. Save the day. Working with both with this nice now. With 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5, the future is in your hands. America runs on Dunkin'.
I'm Coach Neil Smith. Welcome to Military Appreciation Night. On behalf of RPI Hockey, we'd like to honor and thank all of the military veterans for their service. Thank you and enjoy the game. Let's go Red.
Ready on hell!
In football action this afternoon, in Schenectady, final score, RPI 20, Union 14. RPI retains the Dutchman Shoes Trophy, and they get an automatic bid into the NCAA Division III tournament.
Welcome you back to Houston Fieldhouse here on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York, as we get set to bring you the third period of tonight's ECAC college hockey action between the visiting Tigers of Princeton and the homestanding Engineers of RPI. My name is Tom Reel, and you're listening to this on your home for Engineers Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Before we get started with the third period, I'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union. They provide the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Just a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Once you browse to WRPI.org, and you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24/7. As long as WRPI is broadcasting, they provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. I want to wish all veterans out there a happy Veterans Day. For our Canadian listeners, a very happy Remembrance Day. Coach Dave Smith wearing a poppy. I'm wearing a poppy. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row. They mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. 99 years since the conclusion of World War I. Engineers have 28 seconds of penalty to kill off to start the third period. Will Riley is the party in the box. As we are underway here in the third period, once again RPI skating from right to left across your radio dial. Engineers won that face-off and sent it back down into the Princeton end. Killed off about 10 seconds. Princeton with one more rush. Verano near the blue line. Up for Tevis. Tevis back to Verano. Verano looks up. Cross-ice pass, and that next pass is whiffed, but it gets sent into the slot, or say in the middle of top of the slot, bottom of the slot, what am I thinking? Then RPI collects it, sends it down ice, and kills off the remainder of the penalty. So they are 1 for 1 on the penalty kill this evening. Princeton still has their 2-goal edge, though. It's 4-2, RPI with some work to do here in the final stanza. Princeton brings it in. That just gets behind Chase Perry and into the back of the net. Not a good one for RPI to give up under any circumstances, but certainly not just after killing a penalty and being down by 2 goals, which is now 3, as Eric Robinson, senior from Belmar, New Jersey, gets credited with his 2nd of the evening and 3rd of the year to make it 5-2 Princeton. And this one was a very slow developing play. The initial shot was saved by Perry, but it just ends up between his legs behind him. The entire field house practically streamed out because it was just trickling behind him and ended up in the net. And so RPI now has a serious hole to dig out with 19 minutes remaining in this one. They are down by 3. Coming across the blue line is York. York will leave it off now for Harris. Harris takes a shot that goes just wide of the cage. Whiffen is there to pick it up. Drops it for York. Now Whiffen doing battle in the near corner. Liljegren pokes it free, and Germain is the first one on it. York just throws his man to take the puck. Liljegren tries a one-timer, but whiffs on it, and now Princeton is ready to break out and go the other way. Germain brings it into the zone, but he's met there. Now a shot is saved by Perry and heads into the near corner. There's Matt Harris. He'll set it out, looking for Polino. Orval can't control. Now Orval's in the zone, so the Engineers have to leave it, and it's taken by Hallisey. Hallisey across the red line. Broken up by Polino. Engineers look to move out of the zone. Princeton with it in their own end. To Patij. Up for Paganelli. Now across for Kriska. Both teams doing battle with it. Now another shot and a goal by the Princeton Tigers, and this one is just starting to get a little bit out of hand. That one moved quickly off of the far board into a wide open slot. And Luke Keenan is there just to go to one knee and rifle that one back to the back of the cage for his first collegiate goal, first collegiate point. And things are getting very much out of hand for RPI as the last 4 goals belong to the Princeton Tigers. And it's 6-2. 2 quick goals to start this third period. Not what RPI needed in the slightest. give credit to Princeton for making goals happen pretty much out of nowhere. You could more or less countenance 3 of their goals tonight in that fashion, where nothing's happening. Puck moves quickly, and it's in the back of the net. That's certainly an effective way to score. Make them count when they're not really looking for it. That one ends up in the glove of Chase Perry. And we will get the face-off coming up down in the RPI end. The Engineers actually leading shots on goal in this one, 26-24. And the majority of those shots for Princeton coming in that first period. Engineers moving forward with it. Here is Tiernes. Okay, needs a goal and they need one fast. Really nothing doing for the Engineers on this move down ice as Princeton lofts it right out of the zone. It's picked up by Tiernes along his own blue line. Wilson along the near boards. Up for Reisinger. Reisinger across that blue line, but he's just a hair offside as Richards was in front of him. Scoring on the last 2 goals, 50 seconds of the third period. Eric Robinson, the second of the game from Josh Tevis and Ryan Ferland, the netminder. Made it 5-2, and then at 2:18 of the third period, Luke Keenan scoring his first collegiate goal from Spencer Krishka, and Jake Paganelli has this one at 6-2 in favor of the visitors. Princeton now with the puck behind their own net, looking to move out. Pass for the headman goes nowhere. Now Liljegren back into the zone. Liljegren takes a shot. It's going to bounce off the end boards. He ends up being the one to try to collect it in the near corner. He has Grabowski there harassing him. Now Whiffen comes away, a little short towards the net. Shot by York is saved. Now a bouncing puck ends up back in front of the net. Liljegren collects along the near boards. He's taken off the puck. Farino moves it up for Kuffner. Kuffner now on the near boards has it back over for Grabowski, who shoots it over the cage. And RPI puts it back to center. Topatij. And he takes a shot that goes just wide. And that'll curl all the way back out of the zone. Princeton sends it back in. Chase Perry behind his own net. He leaves it for Will Riley. Emil Orval will shovel it into the attacking zone. Picked up by Reed Joachim. Now the Engineers with an opportunity. It's Orval who can't really pull the trigger close to the net. 2-on-2 going the other way now. Hallisey crosses the blue line, pulls up, takes a shot, goes just wide, kind of sticked wide by Perry. Orval sends it up ahead for Polino. Polino across the blue line. He looked to feed that one to Hayhurst. Now Hayhurst behind the net. Looks for the wraparound, takes a backhanded shot that ends up on the near boards. Here's Burgess. Now with the puck on the near boards, it's Hallisey. He gets it up across the blue line into the attacking zone. Is Robinson looking for the hat trick. Cuts to the net, but can't get a shot off. A good defensive play there by Tommy Grant. Now RPI looks the other way. Backhanded into the zone by Burgess. Princeton collects along the near boards. Paganelli shuffles it out, but only Engineers in the neutral zone with Wilson. Tries to bring it in, but he is offside. 14:24 left in the third period. Princeton leads this one 6-2.
One lucky fan will find $100 wrapped inside the t-shirt. Stand up and get loud for the Sefton t-shirt toss.
Down 4 goals with 14 minutes left. RPI certainly needs the next one, and they need to probably get it in a timely fashion in order to try to start this climb back towards 6. But now the puck is down in their end, and they'll look to break the other way with it. Here's Tiernes. Has Reisinger with him. Tiernes takes a backhanded shot off the bottom of the cage, and it's taken by the Tigers. Paganelli into the neutral zone, picked up by Harris. Reisinger just slams it off the near boards and into the zone as the Engineers change. Here's Grabowski behind his own cage. Leaves it for Cressy, Jackson Cressy. Moves it across the ice. And that is brought in offsides by Max Becker as we get a stoppage with 13:38 remaining in this one. The pace of this one is certainly favoring the team with the 4-goal lead, and that would be the Princeton Tigers. Not really an awful lot of action, but if you're Princeton, that certainly is what you want to see at this point. They just want to get out of here with the 2 points they've more than earned. That shot is blocked down by the glove of Perry. Moves behind the net and now along the far boards. Comes free to Manley, who has room to skate. Manley brings it into the zone. He whips a shot that goes well wide of the net. Over to the far boards. And it's picked up by Liljegren. Now for Riley. Riley into the zone. Riley looking to move the puck, but he's surrounded by Tigers. And Topatij just takes it away from him. 2-on-2, quickly the other way for Princeton. Drop pass is left into the corner. No one there, so now a battle begins. Taken by Princeton. Topatij at the ECAC hockey logo. Takes a shot. Saved to the side by Perry. Kind of a juicy rebound, but Princeton can't pick up on it. Now Topatij. Leaves for Cressy. Cressy to Becker, who takes a quick shot that's blocked by Riley. And now a whistle coming. We might have a penalty. A slashing call coming up. Should be on the Tigers? No, it's on the Engineers. This is a slashing call against Troy York. So the Engineers going back to the penalty kill for the second time this evening. And certainly not what they needed down by 4. Face-off won by the Tigers. Verano over to Halsey in the slot. He whips one, but he whiffs on it. Now it's over in the corner for Verano. Verano for Kuffner. Back behind the net for Verano. His feed goes through the crease and ends up on the stick of Kuffner. Kuffner in the near circle. Cross-ice pass. Verano. He whips a shot that's blocked. Verano again takes a shot blocked. Over into the corner. Prapavessis gives chase. Now Grant tries to get it out. Kept it at the point by Tevis. Tevis skating with it. Back over to Cressy. Now that is Verano over in the corner. Whiffs on his pass, and that's just picked up by Billy Jerry, and he'll just send it down ice. RPI gets a much-needed line change about halfway through the penalty to Troy York now. Princeton will set up with their second unit. Here comes Robinson. He has 2 goals tonight. Gets it to Rich at the top of the slot. He just walks right in. I don't think he ever got a shot off, but Topatij is able to keep that winding puck in at the blue line. Now RPI whips one. And I'm not sure if that just bounced off of somebody, but it ended up kind of falling into Billy Jerry's glove, almost outfielder style. So we'll have a face-off coming up in the RPI end with 37 seconds remaining on the penalty to Troy York. Face-off won by the Tigers. That is sent in by Joachim. Battle for it along the near boards. RPI tries to clear, but it's kept in by Topatij. Now a whip shot by Robinson goes wide. Heads over to the neutral zone from the far boards and out. And Princeton quickly regroups back into the zone. With it is Rich. Alex Rich. Whiffs on his pass and is picked up by Prapavessis. He sends it out, and that will do it for the Princeton power play. They're 0 for 2 this evening on the man advantage, but they're still up by 4, so not really that big of a concern for Princeton. It's really just 2 more minutes, and RPI wasn't going to come close to scoring. 10:28 remaining in this one, 6-2. The Princeton lead is a shot by Princeton goes sticked into the corner by Perry. And now Nelson battles with Wilson along the near boards. Puck still in the RPI end. Emil Orval comes away, and he gets it up for Todd Burgess. Now here is Tierney's. Tierney's to Orval. Orval backhands it towards the point. Doesn't get to Wilson, and it's picked up by the Tigers. Keenan, who has a goal tonight, sends it down into the ice. Paganelli gets it over for a teammate. Couldn't see who that was, but the shot was onto the side of the cage. And here come the Engineers. Orval will just stick it down ice. It's chased down by Billy Jerry. And once again, the Tigers, the ones winning battles in their own end here in the third period. Moving up ice is Grande. He has it poked off the stick into the neutral zone, and Tom is just going to blast it in, leaving RPI to recover in their own end. 9:17 remaining in the third period. Princeton up 6-2 in this one. Manley can't get it out of the zone. And now another opportunity for Princeton. Here's Tom. He has a shot that's blocked in the slot. Heads into the corner. Now the Tigers looking to cycle again. Again, they have a 4-goal lead. They're doing a pretty good job in the attacking zone. Back up to the point for Tom. Cross-ice pass. Tevis takes a shot. That's saved into the corner by Perry. Again, Princeton on top of it. In the corner is Grande. Tevis walking in, takes a shot. Saved by Perry.
Hey, if you're looking to take the Blues, the additional lifetime,
The Princeton Blue Liners really seeming to be able to operate with a whole lot of space and opportunities. And that has led to some serious opportunities for guys like Josh Tevis, who scored his goal down low, but certainly here in the third period has been able to maneuver both on and off the power play around that blue line without too much pressure. So with 8:32 remaining in the third period, shots in this one now 32-29 in favor of the Tigers. So it's kind of been a back and forth game in terms of shots on goal. Princeton has regained the lead in that category, and they've certainly been controlling play for nearly the entire third period, which is a contributing factor to the 2 goals that they scored earlier here. They now have 3 goals in the first period, 1 scored late in the second period, and then they had 2 more early here in the third period for the 6 goals that they've scored. The Engineers scored both of their goals in the first period. Face-off won by Princeton. They just continue to keep that pressure on. Verino going for Rich. Rich along the far boards. Gets it into the slot. And that was saved by Perry. RPI breaking back the other way with a Troy York into the zone. Over for Grant. Grant puts it on the stick of Topatij. He can't clear the zone. That ends up getting sent down the ice. And it's picked up by Pratt Pavessis before icing. I'm not sure that Princeton has been called for icing tonight. They've been very well disciplined with their passing. And just as I say that, the Engineers ice the puck. With a little bit of contention because Polino was down in that area where he would normally need to be for that to be waved off, but icing the call nonetheless. So the face-off now in the RPI end with 7:51 left in the third period, and Princeton hanging on to that 6-2 edge they've accrued here in the third. And a face-off win for the Tigers. They take a shot, bouncing puck ends up in the glove of Chase Perry. Another one of those dangerous kind of nothing going on plays that Princeton is taking some serious advantage of here tonight. RPI finally gets a win on a draw in their own end. They're able to send that out, but not for very long, as Princeton already brings it back down into the attacking end. They're moving the puck with relative ease. Now here comes Hayhurst. Hayhurst into the zone. It's over Polino. Polino gets on the stick of Tierney's. If he'd shot it, it would have gone in, but unfortunately he couldn't corral the pass. Now a shot from the point by Wilson bounces. Easily RPI's best scoring opportunities of the third period right there. But Princeton's the one able to come away with it. Grabowski gets it up ice. Germain into the zone. Hallisey has moved to Germain. Now a shot from the far boards, gets sticked aside. Now Polino will collect it and send it out. He's looking for Reisinger. Reisinger moves it up ice. Billy Jerry with some forechecking pressure now, but Princeton is able to get around it, and they're moving now. Paganelli. Spun around right at the blue line, and that's going to cause offsides with 6:32 remaining in this one. Princeton with a 6-2 lead, and they do not look in imminent danger of losing it. To be very mild about it, I suppose. Face-off win by the Engineers, but Burgess is only able to stick it forward a little bit, and Princeton comes away. Tevis across the red line. He'll send it in. Left behind the net by Perry. He'll actually send it to the near boards. Manley is fighting in there along with Tom. Now it's sent over to the far boards. Will Riley looking to move the puck. He's battling with Spencer Krishka. Krishka comes away with it. Some more pushing and shoving, some more poking going on. Now a shot from nowhere goes off the side of the net. Now the battle is behind the RPI net, and Princeton really just kind of content to let this one play out like this. I'm sure that any team would with a 4-goal lead late in the game. They're just kind of looking to draw this one to a close as effortlessly as possible, and they're succeeding in that effort right now. And they move it back into the RPI end. Quick shot, saved by Perry. Back behind the net. Krapovessis is able to pick it up. Curls around, moves up to Whiffen. Whiffen moves across. He's into the zone, and he loses the handle on it, and Princeton just leisurely moves the puck back down into the neutral zone area. RPI looks like they're having to gain every single inch of the neutral zone, while Princeton is able to kind of move it through with ease, which is a big difference here in the third period. Grant has it along the near boards in the attacking zone. His shot is blocked by Topatij into the corner. Now Liljegren tries to leave it off for Whiffen, intercepted by Princeton. Kuffner along the near boards. He takes a hit from York, but it's over to Topatij. Topatij to Joachim. Joachim moves up ice. He sends it in. He's looking for Kuffner. That one goes wide. Tierney now has it along the near boards. Has it to Richards in the neutral zone. Richards whips one over, looking for Hayhurst, who can't collect it. Now a strangely errant pass by Grabowski. We haven't seen that quite too much from Princeton here in the third. Picked up by Tierney. Tierney now spins around, takes a shot, hits traffic in front, and Harris tried to collect it, to move in to collect it. Penalty coming up on Princeton. They touch. And Harris drew this one just by moving in to try and take a shot. He got taken down while he was trying to take a shot from the bottom of the far face-off circle. And while it's probably a little bit too late to do much of a comeback at this point, at least RPI will have an opportunity to make the final score look a little better as they go back on the power play here late in the third period with Alex Rich going off for tripping. 3:49 remaining in this one, and RPI can spend much of that on the power play if they don't score. Shot from the point goes just wide by Wilson. That got through everything. Here's Whiffen looking to grab it behind the net, but it's Tevis there first. And sent out by Cressy. Not too far, though. RPI already back in the zone. Whiffen dropped it off for Polino. Now an errant pass goes off a skate, and that bounces out, so Harris will try to collect that one. Wilson now at the red line gets it up for Polino, but he can't control the pass. Into the corner by the Zamboni doors. And Tom will try to clear it. He can't. Ends up with Whiffen. Now Burgess along the near boards to Whiffen. Now Wilson at the point. Back to Burgess along the near boards. Down low for Polino. Polino can't get around the referee. Now to Wilson. Harris back to Wilson, playing catch over at the blue line. Now Burgess, he'll whip a shot that goes well wide. Into the corner goes Polino. 2:45 remaining in this one. 55 seconds on the power play as it goes out of the zone. Both teams changing. Matt Harris along the near boards. That gets wheeled over for Riley. Will Riley, the Pittsburgh Penguins draft pick, drops it for Hayhurst. Across the blue line. Now Hayhurst around the net. Back to the point for Riley. Riley looks to Pravovessis on the near side. Back to Riley. Now Reisinger. Up to Orval. Orval brings it over to the far board. He drops it back. That is Hayhurst. Hayhurst to Riley, now Pravovessis. Back to Hayhurst. And now the puck just kind of swirls back to Pravovessis. Power play's over. And almost just ended up on the stick of Alex Rich as he caught out of the penalty box. That helped them. That helped Princeton clear the zone. RPI offsides coming back in. So a lot of possession, not a lot of opportunity for the Engineers on that power play. And that's more or less the story of the evening for the Engineers on the power play, considering that they are now 0 for 4 on the man advantage this evening. Puck down in the RPI end. Princeton looking for more. As they play with it over in the corner, Harris tries to take it off of his man. That is Hallacy. And now Topatij just going to go backwards with it. 1:15 left in this one. Princeton up 6-2 as they appear to be on their way to closing things out relatively easily here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Princeton will be salvaging a weekend split. The Engineers settling for one. As that puck comes in on Perry, he tries to glove it, can't get to it, and has to sprawl out on the ice to eventually grab it. He covers for the whistle with 53.4 seconds remaining in this one. This one was pretty much decided early in the third period. Two quick goals, a little bit over a minute apart from Eric Robinson and Luke Keenan. The first 2:18 of the period turned a 2-goal advantage into a 4-goal advantage, and it's been mostly Princeton ever since. RPI is just looking to get out of here with a little bit more pride. But they certainly have not had very many opportunities here in the third period, just 3 shots on goal, as we now have 30 seconds remaining in this one. Riley just backhands it into the attacking zone. Matthew Tom is the first one there. And looks like Princeton's just going to play pitch and catch here for the remainder of this one. RPI not pressuring them. They're in no hurry. No one's in any hurry. Last 6 seconds. Everyone's just kind of throwing it around in the Princeton end. RPI is really only making a few half-hearted efforts to go after the puck. I think they're ready to leave too. And the final whistle says that they can. Princeton finishes this one with a 25-21 edge in the face-off circle, 36-29 in shots, having very lopsided edges in both the first and third periods. RPI with the lopsided edge in the second period, so one does start to wonder if perhaps the ice was tilted towards that specific end of the fieldhouse. That would be the west end for geography mavens everywhere. So RPI forced to settle for a weekend split at home. Obviously not the result they were looking for. I think if you looked at this weekend, you picked out a game that was winnable for RPI. It was probably going to be the Princeton game. Not that it would be easy, but that it would probably not be as difficult as Quinnipiac. And they get a win over Quinnipiac and a loss to Princeton, and a rather sound loss to Princeton at that. a reminder, you're listening to live coverage of Engineers Hockey, 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. As we get set to wind down here from Houston Fieldhouse, I'll run down the scoring pretty quickly, and then we'll catch up with our offensive and defensive engineers of the game, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Princeton scored the first 2 goals of this one in the first period, 5:22. Ryan Kuffner, his 4th of the year, from Max Verano and Alex Rich. Made it 1-0. Then at 10:20 of the first period, Eric Robinson with his 2nd goal of the season from David Hallisey and Matt Nelson made it 2-0. RPI battled back to get the next 2 goals and tied up at 2, with Jared Wilson's 2nd of the year from Brady Whiffen and Troy York. 14:58, even strength goal made it 2-1 Princeton. Billy Jerry with a laser shot at 16:08 of the first period made it 2-2. The assists to Owen Stout, his first collegiate point. And fellow, well, I could say redshirt freshman Todd Burgess with his 6th collegiate point. Made it 2-2, but that was all the scoring that RPI would be able to muster. Princeton would retake the lead a minute and 50 seconds later. Jackson Cressy, 2nd of the year, from David Hallisey and Eric Robinson made it 3-2. Princeton never looked back. They added 1 more in the second at 13:15. Josh Tevis, his 1st of the year, on a really beautiful give and go with Ryan Kuffner, who netted his 3rd assist of the season. And Matthew Tom picked up his first collegiate point as well, making it 4-2. Then 2 relatively quick strikes in the 3rd period by the Tigers. Eric Robinson, his 2nd of the game, 3rd of the year, 50 seconds in, made it 5-2. The assists to Tevis. And Princeton netminder Ryan Furland for what I would presume would be his first collegiate point. A freshman out of Franklin, Massachusetts. And then the icer came just over a minute later, 2:18 of the 3rd period. Luke Keenan, his first collegiate goal, first collegiate point. The assists going to Spencer Krishka, junior out of Calgary, Alberta, and Jake Paganelli. And that was the final, 6-2, in favor of the visitors from Princeton. Ryan Furland had a total of 27 saves on 29 shots. He made 18 saves in the 2nd period. That was a crucial period for Princeton. They weathered a serious storm, and then they got back up and really brought it back to the Engineers. Chase Perry picks up the loss in net for the Engineers. He made a total of 30 saves on 36 shots. He made 14 saves on 16 shots in a 3rd period in which Princeton really kind of put the pedal down. Princeton 0 for 2 on the power play. RPI 0 for 4. And that is more or less the tale of the tape here this evening. Offensive engineer of the game. Really need to give a shout out to freshman Billy Jerry for a wicked shot. Just wicked. I mean, I thought it was just fabulous, the shot that he took. It had eyes for the back of the net. Hit the net top shelf. It was really very timely. It was at a time when RPI was still trying to weather the storm from Princeton, and he really hit a laser that found the back of the net with ease. And McFarland really had an opportunity to react to it. So Billy Jerry with his 2nd collegiate goal this evening. My RPI offensive player of the game, and my RPI defensive player of the game. There was no, I wouldn't say there was any defensive effort throughout the game that really stuck out in my mind. So I guess what I want to do here is award probably the best individual defensive play that I saw this evening was Brady Whiffen selling out in the 2nd period when everything was going RPI's way. They were pushing for that 3rd goal that would have tied it up, and it looked like Princeton was ready to steal one against the flow of play with some really, really good play and some really convoluted defense by RPI at the time, but a good job by Brady Whiffen of selling out, stopping a puck that looked like it was probably going to be destined for the back of the net. Just a really good overall effort for him right there. That's going to be enough to earn him my defensive engineer of the game for that play. Our next WRPI broadcast will be this coming Friday night from here at the Houston Fieldhouse, I believe, as the RPI Engineers head back into non-conference action, I should say, as they will host the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame in the first of 2 games next weekend. Oddly, RPI's first home non-conference game of the season comes in the middle of November. So that game will be ready for a puck drop at 7:00 p.m. So we would expect an on-air time here at WRPI of 6:45. I'd like to thank everyone back at the station for helping us get out on the air and stay on the air. I want to thank Perry Lascaris for doing the pre-game discussion with Dave Smith. I didn't really want to risk going down into the locker room and exposing everyone to whatever it is that I have. And I want to thank everyone for sticking with me this evening. I don't know if I have any voice left, but I did my best. So with that, I guess I will get out of here just after I thank the Rensselaer Union for providing the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball, as well as for RPI TV. I also wanted to remind you that WRPI is on the World Wide Web, which you browse at WRPI.org. And you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as WRPI is broadcasting. Provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. My name is Tom Reel. You've been listening to Engineers Hockey on 91.5. And your final score this evening is Princeton 6, RPI 2. This has been live coverage of Engineers Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.